Welcome to the Russian ghetto. Today we will discuss the crazy life story of Artur Ryno, a brazen white supremacist Nazi gang leader who is ironically half Chukcha by nationality on his father's side. Artur had a nickname in the Nazi circles as Babula, which is granny in English. He was a mama's boy because when he wanted to leave his native Ekaterinburg, his mom insisted that she should follow him to Moscow and she should live with him on campus, but was denied by the college principal. Artur No was born in 1990 in Ekaterinburg to a family of artists. He barely knew his father who died when Arthur was very young. At school, Arthur was not popular and was often humiliated by his peers. After graduating, he moved to Moscow, where he enrolled in the icon painting department at the Moscow College of Applied Arts. Renault spent a lot of time on websites and forums for skinheads, where he soon met Pavel Skachevsky, a student at Russian State University of Physical Education. Together they formed a skinhead gang that later became known as the Ryno Skachevsky gang. In addition to the two leaders, the group included seven other members, mostly minors. Their first known attack was against Zhao Shibo, a Chinese vendor who had a stall at the Cherkizovsky market. On August 21st, 2006, the skinheads brutally beat him and stabbed him multiple times. The entire assault was filmed by one of the gang members, Svetlana Vakumova. Renault uploaded the video titled Fun Walks to the internet, and it quickly gained popularity among skinheads. The Ryno-Skachevsky gang continued committing violent crimes, sometimes carrying out several attacks a day. Over time, their methods became more brutal. Some victims suffered 40 to 60 stab wounds. Skachevsky, who became known within the gang as the Hammer due to his preferred weapon, played the most active role in the group. Investigators knew of approximately 20 fatal attacks, but law enforcement suspected the real number was higher. Many of the victims were non Slavic migrants who often did not report the crimes out of fear. For example, due to lacking proper immigration papers. In 2007, they killed a full blooded Russian man by the name Sergei Lavrik simply because he resembled a person from the Caucasus Mountains. For this murder, a man named Rudenko had already been sentenced to 14 years in prison. However, investigators later concluded that the conviction had been a mistake. Rudenko was released from the penal colony, and Renault and Skachevsky confessed to the crime. The gang was finally apprehended in April 2007 after the murder of Armenian businessman Karen Abramyan. The teen stabbed him outside his own home, and the attack was captured by surveillance cameras. A neighbor, Nikolai Ovechkin, witnessed the murder. He followed the attackers but lost them when they jumped onto a tram. Ovechkin then flagged down a patrol car and reported everything to the police. Two stops later, the tram was stopped and cordoned off. The assailants were arrested. During his first interrogation, 17-year-old Artur Ryno confessed to 37 killings. The trial was held with a jury. Two of the gang members, including Svetlana Vakumova, were acquitted. Ryno and Skachevsky each received 10 years in prison, as they were minors at the time the crimes were committed. Three separate cases were reviewed in a different proceeding. On April 8, 2010, Moscow City Court Judge Eduard Chuvashov delivered a guilty verdict. However, by law, this did not affect the existing sentences of Ryno and Skachevsky. Just 4 days later, Judge Chuvashov was shot and killed in the entrance of his own apartment building. To this day, the identity of the killer and the person who ordered the hit remains unknown, as Chuvashov had been presiding over numerous high-profile criminal cases at the time. 10 years passed and he got released and opened a Nazi tattoo salon in the Moscow city center. Got married and had a daughter. From his own words, he is not really sorry for the crimes he committed or the pain he caused. That just tells you everything about judicial system in a Russian ghetto and how little a human life cost here. He got less than a year for each murder. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe and comment.